I started thinking a lot about mental toughness and a topic that doesn't get spoken a lot about with goalies, at least from my field, the idea of leadership. And I was in a very interesting conversation. It must have been around December. I was sitting in the locker room talking to the coach. The coach says, "I'll never give a C to one of my goalies." It sort of makes sense if you think about it. It's tough to talk to the officials, tough to manage the day-to-day stuff. He said, "My goalies lead, but they'll never get, my goalies aren't ever going to get a letter on their sweater." It's kind of interesting. But last time I checked, perhaps the most important leader on the ice is the goalie. Right? Think about your influence on an entire team. We're talking about you individually, but you influence your entire team. And I saw 3 prime examples of this winter. The team I was working with, I saw their goalie, the most confident individual I think I've ever met. Just really, when he was standing in net, you knew nothing could go wrong. Lifted up a team of average talent the whole season long. No problem. If he was standing there, team's like, "Oh, we're probably going to win tonight." Probably to the point where they played crappy defense half the time. But lifted up a team, made a team better than they could have been. On the flip side, I saw a team that basically, in essence, their goalies moved on to a new team because of inability to inspire teammates. Teammates basically said after a couple seasons, "We have no faith in this individual. We have no faith that he's here for us." And then the final one, another goalie I was working with sat back and said, "Hey, I've got to learn how to lead because I'm a veteran on my team." And when that leadership was learned, guess what? All the lower level players were dragged along. I think you had this huge responsibility. And I kind of think of it from a sports psychology standpoint. We know that big C word, confidence. Confidence drives your performance last time I checked. Right? When I have a coach send an athlete to me, an athlete come to me on their own, when a parent sends an athlete to me, they say, "So-and-so needs to work on their confidence." It's like a huge word, right? If you're confident, you tend to play well. Playing goal is tough, though. Because doesn't your confidence also lead your team's performance? If you think about it, have you ever stepped on the ice and watched how your team plays great in front of you because they have faith in you? Or if you talked about that night, you're not fully prepared, you show up looking a little out of it, your team plays like garbage because they were like, "I don't know who's behind us tonight." To me, it's this principle. You're not going to stop everything every night, right? It's the depressing fact of playing goal. But your team needs to believe if they let you see the puck, you'll stop it. Even if it's not true, right? Because, most nights you let in a couple goals. But they need to believe if they let you see it, you'll stop it. My question here is this a good or a bad thing? Kind of sucks, right? Because it means you are responsible for others all of a sudden, right? If I think about how goalies interact throughout the season and how they're treated, depending on the team you're on. Before a game, last time I checked, I watched a coach talk to every single skater. I watched the 2 goalies sit in the corner with their iPods on, basically get ignored. The goalie's like, "Please, please," the coach is like, "Please, please play well tonight. I'm not going to say a word to you." So in essence, you're not invited to be part of the team sometimes, right? Because you're a very different position. But at the same time, you're responsible for the whole team. I'll turn it around. I think this is a pretty cool opportunity, right? It wasn't you that said a goalie can make or break a game. Every night you can make a game. If you make a game, what happens? Your team feels good. So the first big idea I want you thinking about today is what message do you send to your team?